Good morning. Hey, Retro. How you doing? Tyre? I don't know if Tyre made it back or not, but anyhow, good morning, everybody. How we doing today? It is Thursday. Good Lord, where has the week flown to already? That means tonight is trash night. Gotta make sure I get it ready to get lugged out to the uh, side of the road. Then the wife and I will flip coins to see who takes it out to the side of the road. That's fun that we just do that sort of a joke, flip coins to see who's going to lug it out. But then that's mostly because whoever lugs it out also has to carry out the dirty cat litter, which neither one of us like doing. Even though it's in a garbage bag, that stuff you still smell that crap. But anyway, I'm going to get wound up today. I'm going to tell you that right now, and I hopefully you guys get wound up. Because the other day I made a little discovery in the USC dealing with illegals. And I am surprised that nobody has really made a big deal of this up until now. All right. Now, Obama started DACA, the delayed or deferred action for childhood arrivals. Okay. That basically allowing illegal children to come into the country. All right, Biden or Trump tried to stop it, but he didn't do. And you would think that anything that is created by an executive order could be ended by an executive order real quickly, real simple. There was no special steps that had to be taken to create something by executive order. So why should there be a huge, long ass rigmarole to end it? But there is. And Trump skipped a step or two. And when he tried to end DACA and the DREAM Act and everything else, courts threw it back in his face and said, nah, you can't do it. And then COVID hit, and the whole world went to hell in the handbasket. The problem is, though, now DACA, the kids who come in, the children who came into the country illegally under DACA and the DREAM Act and such, they're still in the country illegally. They're not legal citizens. All right. Well, and technically, you would think they can't vote. USC 18, USC 610, subparagraph 611, voting by aliens. And I will supply a link to this. Come on, come on. Thank you. Voting by aliens. It shall be unlawful for any alien to vote in any election held solely or in part for the purpose of electing a candidate for the office of president, vice president, presidential elector, member of the Senate, House of Representatives, delegate from the District of Columbia, or resident commissioner, unless the election is held partly for some other purpose. The aliens are authorized to vote for such other purpose under a state constitution or statute or local ordinance. Now remember, there are several states and several communities, cities that allow illegals to vote. Very few elections, especially presidential elections, are for the president alone. There are other purposes on this election. Voting for such other purpose is conducted independently of voting for a candidate for federal office in such a manner that the alien has the opportunity to vote for such other purpose, but not an opportunity to vote for the candidate or any of the federal offices. Any person who violates this section shall be fined under this title and imprisoned for not more than 1 year or both. All right. Now, subsection A does not apply to an alien if each natural parent of the alien, or in the case of an adopted alien, each adopted parent of the alien is or was a citizen, whether by birth or naturalization. Sounds good. Here's where it gets tricky. If the alien permanently resided in the United States prior to attaining the age of 16, and the alien reasonably believed at the time of voting, in violation of the subsection, that he or she was a citizen of the United States. All these dreamers that came here before they turned 16, all they have to do is claim, oh, I thought I was a citizen. I thought Obama, I thought the Democrats, I thought Biden, and all these people said, and AOC said I was a citizen now and that I could vote. All these dreamers that have been here and came to this country before they turned 16. All they got to do is claim they thought they could vote, that they thought they were citizens. How do you disprove what they knew? Unless they made comments on social media that they knew they weren't citizens, and they hadn't purged their social media by then. And remember, these Democrats are pretty, we know that these guys aren't stupid. And they're going to figure out ways to make it very difficult to prove that illegal child didn't know that they weren't a citizen, that they weren't eligible to vote. They know how to make that happen to where you can't find proof of it. Scrub their social media sites. Unless they were some of these that were extremely vocal ones that, they're out there in the news. And once it's on the internet, it's always on the internet. No, Tyler, I don't. It's possible, but it's going to take some serious work. But this whole subsection needs to disappear. This whole subsection, okay. The illegal. I don't care if that person came into the country illegally or were born of illegal parents. They should never get the right to vote just because they thought they were here legally. Again, my personal opinion, they should be deported. You're here illegally, deport your ass. Where's your visa? Your visa expired 6 weeks ago. Don't give them a chance to pack up their stuff. Don't give them a chance to grab their stuff. Handcuff them, throw them in the back of the paddy wagon, take them to the border. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. Yes, I am that damn serious about it. And then sell all their possessions as abandoned property. Okay, what's this going on? Officer at the intersection. Yeah, yeah, Raman, it's get if only, if only. Now the Democrats, okay, and the Democrats, they know what they're about here. Cory Booker and other lawmakers are urging President Biden to protect people who are undocumented but have been in the U.S. for a long time. This is the time for executive action, not legislative. No, no, no. They know they can't get it done through that legislature. So they want Biden as president to dictate. Ed Markey wants the president to streamline the process. It's not the president's job to streamline the process. That is not an executive office, it's a legislative office job. Millions of undocumented slash illegal immigrants currently live in fear of separation from their families. Then get their families and move back to where they're supposed to be. If they're in the country illegally and they're afraid of separation, then they need to go to where they're not afraid. Go to the country where they're not. Our immigration system is not broken except for the fact that it's allowing illegals to stay in the country. There is what illegals do not deserve fairness or due process, which leaves families with no escape from deportation. Good. Good. I'm glad it doesn't allow them to escape from deportation. The Republicans question why the Democrats who push for this do not urge Biden to take action at the southern border. You know, one of the very first streams I did, one of the very first, no, I didn't. I don't think I did it as a stream. I think I did it as a video. Was about how the laws and the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that if you live within 100 miles of the border, Border Patrol can pull your ass over and ask you for your papers. That includes the entire state of Florida because of the coastline. And anywhere within 100 miles. Now, I don't like that idea because the Border Patrol has obviously has abused American citizens demanding to see their papers. Because they set up border checkpoints 60 miles inside the country along a highway and stop every car. And they stop every car. They run a drug sniffing dog around your car. Oh, excuse me, it's not drug sniffing dog. It's a dog trained to sniff out illegals, as if illegals smell different from average people, from anybody else. Then they have you open your window and are you a U.S. citizen? You say yes, and they say, okay, you're on your way. Now, a lot of American citizens, and I'm one of them, don't like the fact that you get stopped and asked if you're an American citizen. It's like I don't like the border guards going into California. To me, this is a waste of money. This is a waste of time. All these Border Patrol people that they have at these big ass roadblocks, permanent roadblocks along major highways, they're not catching anybody. The illegals know that they're there. The people, the NGOs that are bringing the illegals in know that those things are there. They take the by roads, they take the back roads, they cut through the desert. We're in the fall retro as far as I'm concerned. We're spending millions and millions and millions of dollars in the Ukraine on a hopeless war in the Ukraine. A war we should have nothing to do with. We've got troops in harm's way in Gaza with that pier that they're building within gunshot range of Gaza. Building a pier that no Muslim country once was willing to help build to feed the Palestinians. Yet we're not spending the money that it would take to properly, permanently secure our southern border. Now, Biden is getting ready to put some new asylum changes. He's trying to pitch some new asylum changes. The changes will address the stage at which migrants can be found ineligible to apply for and receive asylum. Unless they applied at a U.S. embassy in a foreign country. We have U.S. embassies all over the place. They don't have to come and cross our border to apply for asylum. And the reasons that somebody should be able to apply for asylum should be very, very limited. Economic factors should not be a stage. Crime in your country should not be a reason. You should be in honest fear for your life from your government. You're in Venezuela, and you are a known opponent to the government. You've been very vocal, and there's the media and everything else to go along with it to show that you have been vocal and are targeted by the government. Okay, fine. There's a reason there to be granted asylum. But I can't think of why there'd be more than maybe a couple of hundred cases of asylum being granted every year. Why should we be granting asylum to somebody simply because the cartels are in their country? Why? Especially if this person brings nothing to us, does not bring a needed skill to our country. Oh, but they're willing to do jobs Americans won't do. I got news for you. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie that's been perpetuated by the left. But that is a bold-faced lie. The change would effectively allow the U.S. to expedite the removal of migrants who the officials see as potentially ineligible to stay in the country. Hey, I like that idea. But they shouldn't be in the country to start with. They should not be in our country to start with. Why are they in our country to even begin with? It doesn't make good sense. See, now Biden is trying to reverse some of the far left positions here, supposedly. The Biden administration officials have ways such as using a section of the Immigration and Nationality Act to bar migrants from seeking asylum from between ports of entry. That should have been the word from the get-go. But they're not going to wait until June. Why wait until June at the earliest? The announcement won't spur the kind of blowback from the left the asylum ban would bring. But the immigration advocates are concerned about the implementation challenges. The administration will focus on the rule. Already credible fear screenings take asylum officers a few hours to complete. The new policy would extend the process, putting more pressure on asylum officers who already face record demands. Once again, you're from Haiti? No, you don't get asylum. You're from Mexico? No, you don't get asylum. You're from Cuba? No, you don't get asylum. You're from Venezuela? Let me see if you've actually got death warrants out for you or your family. You're from Peru? Sorry. You're from Africa? Sorry. You're from the Middle East? Any country in the Middle East? Sorry. There's no reason for you to be seeking asylum from the Dubai. There's no reason for you to be seeking asylum from Egypt. There's no reason for you to be seeking asylum from France, Italy, Germany. It should not be that hard to whittle down who actually needs to have asylum. Now, if somebody disagrees with me, please tell me. Cuba is questionable anymore, Tyre, because they have changed so much since Fidel's death. Exactly, Retro. Americans would do those jobs if we didn't have all the damn handouts. And Tyre, you're exactly right. Venezuela, if you don't like living in Venezuela under their government, that's not a reason to be seeking asylum. Move out of the damn country. There's plenty of other countries right there. Okay, I'm opening up a map here real quick. Come on, the NDD. Oh crap, that's such a lousy map. It is so out of focus. It's not funny. Let's see if this is any better. Okay, let's see here. Man, that it's absolutely horrible. But let's see. Venezuela, you've got Colombia. I can't read the other ones. You got Colombia and Brazil, two major countries that border Venezuela. You can get, I mean, you can go to either one of those and live. I know I'm one of those ignorant Americans. I can't tell you exactly which countries border which border other countries. Oh, Guyana is the other one that borders it. There we go. So you got Venezuela, then it's bordered by Guyana, Brazil, and Colombia. I'm sure there's enough of a cultural relationship that they can go to either one of those if they're just not happy living in Venezuela. A group of House Democrats, largely from battleground districts, wrote the president on Tuesday calling for executive action to immediately take further action to restore order at the southern border and fix the immigration. All of a sudden, man, we're 6 months from an election, and all of a sudden, the House Democrats are sitting there saying, yeah, we need to fix the southern border. We need to stop this. For 3 years, we've been allowing and all this mass immigration, millions of people to enter our country illegally. But now, 6 months before, we're going to stand up and say, no, we're for a secure southern border. After 3 years of ignoring it and wanting it to be wide open. Then, of course, you got those Democrats on the left that are still fighting to leave the border as porous as possible. One thing that I truly liked about Trump was he was taking the beginning steps that we needed to protect our borders. There was a radio show I used to listen to, and I can't remember the name of the host. He was out on the West Coast, out in San Francisco area, if I remember correctly. He used to say borders, language, and culture is what makes up a country. And he was very strong on that, quite vocal. And being out of San Francisco, I was very surprised how strong he was on that. And if one of you guys would know who that was, and I'm talking back when Rush Limbaugh was still alive and had his show going. AM talk radio was real, political radio was really big. Because you had Rush, Mark Levin, Hannity, and I'd be danged if I can remember this guy's name from out of San Francisco. Always talked about his dog. But anyway, without a border, you don't have a country. Just like with most houses, most homes, without four walls and a door, you don't have a house. Without a fence, you don't own property. People plant bushes and put up fences along property lines for a reason. because they want to stake out what's theirs. And as a country, we need to protect our borders to show what is ours. What is our country? We need to have a unifying language. Once again, I got cussed out at the hotel because I don't speak Spanish. And the guy got mad at me because I don't speak Spanish. And between him and his wife, they got pissed off. Now, when I was stationed in Germany for 3 years, I've said this before. Now, I took German in high school. My dad taught me German at the kitchen table. So when I got to Germany, I spoke decent high German and spoke passable low German. And I got along great. Then my German got better, of course, because I worked with the German Pfadfinders, which is their version of Boy Scouts. And it and I adapted other than when I was on base, but when I went off the American base, I adapted to the German lifestyle. We get these people coming here and they're not adapting to the American lifestyle. They're still flying their Mexican flags. They're still flying their Cuban flags. They're still flying their Venezuelan and Colombian and Haitian flags. When in Rome, do as the Romans. Right. But these people coming in our country like this, they're not adapting to our lifestyle. Now the House took some steps, and there's been some misunderstandings about what the House did yesterday. The House passed the Equal Representation Act yesterday. In a 206 to 202 vote, the lower chamber passed the Equal Representation Act Wednesday along party lines. But the measure is expected to be dead on arrival in the Senate. Of course, Chuck Schumer's not going to bring it up for a vote. And what this bill is doing is saying that, and here is a link to the bill itself. Let's bring it up here. Here's a link to the bill itself, but it's going to add. It wants to add that to the census, including the count of non-U.S. citizens and determining how many congressional seats and electoral votes each state had. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the actual wording. Um, the uh, I accidentally scrolled past it here. Let me. Okay, here we go. In conducting the 2030 decennial census and each decennial census thereafter, the Secretary shall include in any questionnaire distributed or otherwise used for the purpose of determining the total population of a state a checkbox or other similar option for the respondent to indicate for the respondent and each of the members of the household of the respondent whether the individual is a citizen of the United States. Not later than 120 days after the completion of the decennial census of the population under subsection A, the Secretary shall make publicly available the number of individuals per state, disaggregated by citizens of the United States and non-citizens as tabulated in accordance to this section. Exclusion of non-citizens from the number of persons used to determine apportionment of representatives and electoral votes. An act to provide for the 15th and subsequent decennial census and to provide for apportionment of representatives in Congress is amended by inserting after not tax the following and individuals who are not citizens of the United States. And what that's going to do is say that you can, if you've got California, you're going to lose House seats and you're going to lose electoral votes because all your illegals are no longer going to count. All your non-citizens are no longer going to count. All those Indians that you brought in to work in Silicon Valley, they're no longer going to count unless they become citizens. All your HB3 visa workers, they're no longer going to count. You've got non-citizens, they no longer count towards your electoral college or to your House of Representatives membership. California's going to lose or would lose a crap ton of seats. I'm just going to say my personal bet was that they would probably lose at least 6 or 7 seats, if not up to 10. That would hurt California's stranglehold in Congress and over the presidential elections. Silvar, if you're not a citizen, if you cannot take the effort, if you cannot make the effort to become a citizen, and that means enter the country legally, you don't have the right to representation. You're an invader to our country. If you're not a citizen, then you have no loyalty to our country. You don't deserve representation. That's not all right. I mistook what you said there, then, Silvar. Okay, because the way I read that, no representation without taxation. Because they do pay taxes. They do pay taxes. They pay sales tax and income tax and everything else. The legal non-citizens do pay taxes. And of course, they pay sales tax when they buy stuff, just as the illegals do. But if you cannot make the effort to become a citizen of the country, you shouldn't be represented in the House and in our Congress. All right. Okay, Silvar, I apologize then. I apologize for jumping down your throat. I misunderstood what you meant there. Okay, okay, retro. The UN is a worthless body. The UN hasn't been in the past 50 years. UN's been absolutely worthless. Secure the borders, yes. Deport illegals, yes. Give independence to all territories that won't become states. No, if they have not become a state, and Puerto Rico, for example, has turned down statehood many times. All right, cut them off. And by God, take away their citizenship. Anybody living in the country of Puerto Rico is no longer a United States citizen. Give them a year. Tell Puerto Rico and tell Puerto Ricans living in Puerto Rico if you want to be retain your U.S. citizenship, you must move to the United States within a year. January 1st of 2027 or 20, January 1st of 2025 or 2026. If you have not permanently relocated to the United States, you're no longer a citizen. You're exactly right, Tyre. Let's see. Exit NATO. I'm going to disagree with you about exiting NATO, Retro. I'm going to disagree with you on that. However, however, reduce our uh, ex- expenditures to NATO. All right. Reduce our expenditures. Trump had the right idea. Demand these other countries to pay the correct proportional amount. When it and one of the things that I've proposed, I don't know, 20 years ago, was close down most of our overseas bases. Uh, have and Dar and I talked about this one time. I would rather see a half a dozen very large super bases, what joint military, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, all located on one base. So of course they'd have to be coastal for the Navy to be able to dock their ships, unified commands. But one in Europe, one in that can get to the Far East, one that can get if Australia would let us have one on in Australia. And stop having all these piddly little bases. I mean, Germany alone's got a couple of dozen bases in it. Do we need to have all these bases supporting the German economy? I'm not totally for isolation. Again, I will disagree with that total isolation, but we need to stop being the world's military forces. Uh, And honestly, I think, well, why don't we have a military base in Israel? It's time to put up or shut up with Israel. Why not put a military base in Israel? We're spending $320 million to build a dock to feed Gaza. Let's put that dock over in Israel and park our warships there. But anyway, yeah, so, Chuck Schumer's going to ensure this bill never sees the light of day because he does not want to see non-citizens being removed from uh, counting towards the number of seats in the House or electoral votes. Schumer does not want to see that to happen whatsoever. But there's been some misunderstandings, I think, of the bill because of the way it's been presented. But I mean, really do recommend you guys to. I mean, I did post a link to it. I recommend you pull up that bill and read it. Read it for yourself because I think it's a good bill. I've already written Rubio and Scott. I'm going to. I've already and my local House member about fixing 18 USC 2610 so that no illegal can. Oops, I thought I could vote because I've been here my whole life. I came here when I was 2 years old. I thought I was a citizen. And also increasing the penalties for illegally voting. And I honestly, if you cast an illegal ballot, you should lose. You're caught casting illegal ballots, especially if you've done it more than once. Like that guy in, I want to say he was out of Pennsylvania, but he may have been Ohio. He also owned property down here in Florida. So he's voting in both states. And he'd been doing it for years. And when they finally caught up with him about it, he goes, "Well, I thought I could vote in both because I own property in both." He should never be allowed to vote again. He should permanently lose his right to vote. Yes, I said it. He should permanently lose his right to vote because he proved that he could not be trusted to follow the law when it comes to voting. And I'm still when it comes to voting, I am still all against automatically allowing people getting their right to vote back as soon as they get out of prison. And I'm definitely against allowing prisoners to vote. um, from what I understand so far, at there is a accusations, shall I say, postmasters in the last election keeping back stamps and not advancing the date on them for ballots that arrived at the post office days late, but postmarking them, you know, back to the future type style so that they could be counted. Yeah, I've got a huge problem with that. There are several postmasters I think that should have been sitting in prison for that. To me, that should be a felony. That should be a felony with a minimum 5-year prison time. Because not are you tampering with an election, you're tampering with the U.S. mail. All right. So let me close a couple of tabs here. Okay. Oh, I've stayed out of quite a bit out of the Trump trials. But this story is too good not to share, not to talk about. Yeah. Oh, this is one of the reasons why I hate uh, some of this stuff. Fannie Willis refuses to testify before the GOP-led Georgia panel. Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis said Monday she would not be testifying before a Republican-led Georgia State Senate panel investigating her. At an event where she earned the endorsement of many local black religious leaders, Willis said the committee investigating her may not have the authority to subpoena her. Excuse me? This is the state legislature. They have the authority to investigate you, to subpoena you. I'm not going to try to imitate her. All right. First of all, I don't think they even have the authority to subpoena me, but they need to learn the law. She continued saying she would not appear for anything unlawful because she had not broken the law. I've said it amongst these leaders. I'm sorry folks got pissed off that everybody gets treated equally. Willis, who is conducting the historic indictment of former President Trump for his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election, results in Georgia also made headlines for her personal relationships. Months of controversy has disrupted Willis's original case. After it was made public she had a romantic relationship with someone she hired for the case. The judge ruled March she could continue the prosecution if she or the special prosecutor Nathan Wade stepped down, which he ultimately did. Now the state Senate is looking into investigate whether Willis and Wade used taxpayer dollars during their relationship. We know they used taxpayer dollars. He got paid $600,000 as a special prosecutor against Trump, then took her out on vacations. And she paid him back in cash. And he never deposited a damn dime of that money back into his accounts. Willis, who Georgia's local and state election day is May 21st. Willis, who's in the middle of running a re-election campaign, will face Democratic challenger Christian Smith, a former prosecutor in Fulton County District Attorney, in a primary. And I love this. I don't care how many times they threaten me, I'll gladly leave this place knowing I did God's work. She sees it as God's work to go after Trump. That's what she sees it as. And she sees it as such a point of God's work that she is willing to violate the law. And it was God's work that she'd be stepping out with a married man. I've never made it a secret from you guys. I'm a Christian. I pray daily. I read my Bible. I listen to my religious programming and such. I don't talk about my faith on this stream often. But when I hear a woman or anybody sit there and say, I'm sitting here doing God's work in prosecuting a political figure because he is a political figure that she disagrees with while she's out sleeping with a married man. I don't find that she's doing God's work. And she's sitting here in front of a bunch of religious leaders, as the article said, black religious leaders, gaining their endorsements, raising her hand and singing to the Lord. I find that absolutely and totally hypocritical. Now, I don't hold myself up as a great representation of a follower of the Christ. I sin way far too often. I don't My life has been nothing to brag about as far as living up to the teachings that I've tried to. I've fallen way too short, way too many times. But I find it very difficult to applaud somebody who's standing up and doing and acting like she is. So that's one of the things that irritates me uh, about this whole mess. She's sitting there praising herself about being a Christian and doing God's work. When, in my opinion, she's not. I try to keep my politics and my religious separate. I don't. We've got a secular government for a reason. Because we want people to be free in our country. We want you to have the freedom to practice your religion as you believe you should, or not to practice any religion. Because if you force somebody to practice something, to practice a religious belief, all they're going to do is, do go through the motions. I do have a problem though. You know, I don't use the Bible as a reason for when I'm discussing politics and my position on public affairs. I don't use the Bible as my crutch, as my authority for my positions. Not discussing. And that's everything from abortion to anything else. All right. But the left, who claims, they claim the conservatives are the religious right. Remember that? But it's always the left that'll pop up and say, what would Jesus do if this was you? If he was here? What would Jesus demand you do? And it's usually when it comes to dealing with illegals or something like that. Recently, there's a meme going around of a drawing of Jesus bathing the feet of an obvious gay transvestite. Now, these are people that don't believe in Jesus, but they're throwing that out there as, saying Jesus washed the feet of his enemies, of people he didn't like. Shouldn't you wash? Or why are you? Yeah, we all get what they're trying to get at. It just always amazes me how the left, all of a sudden, when they find it to their benefit, all of a sudden become religious or use religion. Hey, Duck Dog, I'm sorry I didn't see you come in earlier. But anyway, I didn't plan on into getting into that field. It's just that last line there, Fannie Willis saying that she's doing God's work, just sort of caught me. Okay. Oh, yeah, this story here. Earlier, I said that I worked with the German Pfadfinders, the German Scouts. Well, I also worked with the American Scouts while I was overseas, and then when I came back to the States, I also worked. I kept working with the American Scouts, and I kept working with the American Scouts for about a decade or so. Uh, got my wood badge, got my wood badge beads, and anybody involved with scouting knows what wood badge is. You train the trainers for training scout leaders. You're all but professional scouters at that point. You're going out and training people how to be scout leaders, how to do things. And it's a week long. In order to go to do that, you go through several weeks of training to get to that point. So, and I'm just saying this because letting y'all know this because I mean to let you know how in depth I was into scouting as an adult. I missed my eagle as a kid as a scout myself by one merit badge. And as I was getting that last merit badge, my troop folded, and that was the end of that. So, but we've had Boy Scouts for decades. Lord Robert Baden Powell, an Englishman, started scouting. Boy Scouts is of America changing its name to be more inclusive. The Boy Scouts of America is changing its name for the first time in its 114-year history and will become Scouting America. It's a significant shift as the organization emerges from bankruptcy following a flood of sexual abuse claims and seeks to focus on inclusion. The organization has made seismic changes after decades of turmoil, allowing gay youth and welcoming girls throughout its ranks. Now, you notice here, I'm going to stop right there for a moment. The Girl Scouts are not being forced to accept boys. They still don't have to accept boys. But the Boy Scouts were sued into accepting girls. That's when I quit working with the Boy Scouts. Not because I have anything against girls, but I believe that Boy Scouts are for boys to teach them how to become men, how to teach them to become young men. We did not have women leaders in Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts, yes. But once they got and become Weeblos, 11-year-olds, it was strictly male leadership. Strictly male leadership from that point on. And I knew several young women. One of the women I was dating when I was in Germany, working as an adult leader, very outdoorsy woman. She would have been she was a great Girl Scout leader. But I didn't want her to become a Boy Scout leader because she was a woman and she needed to stay with teaching young ladies how to grow into becoming a woman. She needed to provide the female leadership to young women, to girls and young women. Just like I was providing adult male leadership to boys and young men. Exactly, Tyra. A woman can't teach a man to be a man, and a man can't teach a woman how to be a woman. Well, I remember when explorers first started having to accept Girl Scouts girls, and I knew that was the signal of the death for Boy Scouts. That was the camel's nose under the tent. In the next 100 years, we want any youth in America to feel very, very welcome in our programs. And to the blanket gay on adult gay leaders in 2015. In 2017, it announced the girls would be accepted as Cub Scouts and into the Boy Scout program in 2019. And I knew then that it would lose Boy Scouts of America sooner or later because the girls would not want to be, well, I'm in Boy Scouts. Girls would not want to, they were going to force that change. I don't understand why the anything that is there to help boys and young men can't be left alone to help boys and young men. It has to be integrated with women. Yet women demand that their programs are left alone. I've got no problem with women's having women only programs as long as there can be male only programs. You want to, you know, we're about equal treatment in this country. Is it fair? Is it equal treatment that programs can be exclusively for any group of people based upon race or gender and not allow any other group of people based upon race or gender to have that same type of program? If you want to have an all female organization, that's great, but you should be able to have an all male organization at the same time. If you want to have an all black organization, that's fine. You should be able to have an all Hispanic, all Asian, or all white organization at the same time. That is equal treatment under the law. That is fairness. If you're going to ban an organization based upon the fact that it's a race based organization, then you have to ban all race based organizations. I don't care what it is. And I don't care what subgroup you're talking about. If it's race based, if it's ethno based, you allow one, or you either allow all or you allow none. If you allow gender based organizations, if you allow one, you have to allow them all. That is what is equal treatment under the law. Yeah, Raman, I know I'm preaching to the choir. I really am. Uh, for the most part. Yeah, I mean, we all have, there's things that I disagree with. Like I disagree with Retro about pulling out of NATO. Okay, because I still see a purpose for NATO, while I don't see a purpose for the UN. And the reason why I still see a purpose for NATO is because we still have North Korea, China, and Russia out there. If it weren't for those three countries, then I wouldn't see really a purpose for NATO. But we do still have those three countries sitting out there. Hey, Spoonie, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Oh, by the way, Ramen, I had already seen that video about the bacon popcorn, and I'd already planned on making some of that this weekend. I actually planned on making it last weekend, but something happened. Oh, anniversary. That's what happened. And so I didn't get a chance to make any. But yeah, I plan on making some bacon popcorn here this weekend. Uh, Going to get a jar of popcorn, and I've already got the bacon fat, and I'm going to make some of that up. So, because that does sound good. Well, hey, Silvar, I always send Ramen a link. I always send Ramen and Dar links every morning. Uh, and they've always got the option to come on whenever they want. Dar, he's getting pretty caught up uh, with his business. It's getting into his busy time of the year for the next few months. So, Ramen, I think, hell, I may even make some tomorrow morning before the Friday Fun stream. In fact, I may make some during the Friday Fun stream. After the stream's over with today, I may go ahead and go to the store rather than waiting until this weekend to go to the store. I may go to the store this today and go buy some popcorn because I've already got the bacon fat to make it in. So I may pop. I'll have to tell you that's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and pop some up tomorrow morning. Ramen, it's opinion. It's all opinion stuff. It is what it is. So let's see here. What else do I have? Da, 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 da. Okay, this story here. This this guy here, I hope he gets. I his sentence is not near enough. Veteran who faked disability to obtain more than $660,000 in benefits gets prison time. A military veteran who admitted he faked being unable to walk for more than 20 years has been sentenced to prison. He got 18 months after receiving more than $660,000 in disability benefits. Stoltz pled guilty to making false statements by faking the impairment that prevented him from walking. Documents showed for more than 2 decades he claimed that he was unable to walk and needed a wheelchair. In addition to his 18-month sentence, he should have gotten a 5-year sentence. He's got to pay $662,871.77 in restitution. After joining the Navy in 1995, suffered a spinal cord injury falling off a horse. He was discharged in 99 and was rated as partially disabled by the VA. In 2003, he claimed that he could no longer use both his feet, and with that, the VA rated Stoltz as 100% disabled and increased his monthly benefits. It was given $190,000 in funding for specially adapted cars to help mobility impaired veterans. Prosecutors say he never used the cars and instead sold them for cash. This angers me for multiple reasons. This angers me for one. Uh, I'm 40% disabled and I've been turned down for an increase in my disability. And I'm fighting with Social Security over my still almost, it'll be 2 years in October. Well, November, 2 years in November, trying to get disability through Social Security. I can't walk without a cane. I can't climb stairs. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, I've got issues. And and to have somebody fake it and get over $600,000 worth of benefits that he did not deserve. Faking a disability. This bastard would go into the VA clinic in a wheelchair, come out of the VA clinic, put the wheelchair in the back of his SUV, walk to the front of the, get in, drive his vehicle away, and then go into a department store or a shopping mall. This is the app. That's why, the 18 months is not near enough time. The 18 months is not near enough time. I need to pull up a calculator here. 660,000. That's 660,000. Divide that by 20. Divide that by 12. All right, he was getting on average 2750 $2,750 a month from the VA. That is tax-free money. VA disability money is tax-free. So, oh, I wouldn't argue with that either, Silvar. He wants to be wheelchair bound so badly. I've got no problem. I got no problem with that. Here it is. In one example, in the Stoltz is seen using the wheelchair inside the VA facility in Boston. After leaving the VA, he stood up, lifted the wheelchair into his car, and drove to his shopping mall. Then seen walking without impairment through multiple stores. And see, this guy was an idiot. This guy was an idiot. Investigators and you know interviewed people in his life, including employers and acquaintances, who reported that at work and in public, the defendant was in good physical condition and walked normally. They'd never seen him use a wheelchair. The guy was an idiot. He really and truly was. Now, of course, Stoltz underwent psychological evaluation, which he was diagnosed with a fractious disorder in 2023. The disorder is classified by the DSM as a condition in which the patient falsely acts as if the patient has a physical or psychological illness. Oh, it wasn't his fault. He's got a mental illness. Oh, Silvar, I'm so sorry to hear that. Did he have diabetes? Is that, or was it nerve issues? I'm so sorry to hear that. My condolences. According to the sentence memorandum filed by his attorneys, which asked for court for 3 years supervised parole instead of prison time, psychologists opined that he meets criteria for fractious disorder and that it likely played a role in the alleged fraudulent behavior. No, no, it didn't. No, I'm. The man didn't want to work for a living. He wanted to sit at home, get $3,000 a month, tax free, and not have to work for it. I've got, like I said, I have no sympathy for this man whatsoever. I'm sorry, Ramen. Uh, okay. Well, let's see here. I'm going to save that for the last story. Now, this is something, this is, it's bad news, but good news at the same time. And it's something I'd love to see every state pull. I'd love to see happen in every state, including here in Florida. California Supreme Court weighs removing a measure making it harder to raise taxes from the ballot. Right now on the California ballot, and Newsom and the Democrats are fighting like hell to have it pulled. The California Supreme Court is weighing whether to keep a measure off the November ballot that would make it harder for the state and local governments to raise taxes. In a legal battle pitting Governor Newsom and Democratic lawmakers against business groups and taxpayer advocates. Several of the 7 justices heard arguments Wednesday questioning whether keeping the entire measure off from the ballot, which would be a rare step for the court, was the best option. The justices also sought to better understand the measure's impact on local government's ability to raise taxes and fees. Under the current system, the legislature can raise taxes with a 2/3 vote in both the Senate and the Assembly. This is the part that I like. The initiative would require the voters also approve any new tax hikes after the legislative passage for them to take effect. Yes. Yes. The legislature says, yes, we need to increase taxes. They get the 2/3 vote. And then it's got to go before the people. And you've got to convince the people to vote for the increase in taxes. The measure would also change the voting threshold by which communities can raise taxes through ballot initiatives from a simple majority to a 2/3 majority. Again, yes. Yes. Did Duck Dog get timed out? Let me see if I can do something about that. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to that. Okay, let's see here. No, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm sorry. Hey, Digi, how's it going? Hey, Ramen.
Morning.
Morning.
Better late than never.
What do you think of this measure to raise taxes? Don't you think that's great?
Yeah. Yeah. You've had so much voter fraud. Fucking wonderful. I'm still wondering how Newsom is still like in office, considering everybody I've talked to fucking hates him. So yeah. Also, dude, I'm sorry, but hey, I think you were sitting on your phone, so
Me?
not you,
Oh,
duck dog. I know, baby. Stop now. I'm gonna call. So yeah, because that was just a lot of deleting all at one time. So
yeah. I wasn't seeing the. I see Silver Org. Okay, Duck Dog
yeah,
deleted by Silver. Okay.
I mean, I've done it too. I mean, hey, it happens sometimes by accident, but I've
Yeah,
never done on this
let's see.
channel.
You deleted one for Duck Dog.
I no, I just timed him out. Not yeah. Anyway, because yeah, he just kind of. I didn't delete him. I just timed him out.
Okay. Well, I mean, you deleted post.
What post did I? Whatever. It
Well,
probably
maybe
went
when
along
you,
with the timeout.
yeah, probably went with the timeout.
I have that on a shirt, Silvar. You know that. It's bitch. This bitch.
But yeah, I think this would be great that anytime legislatures can vote to raise all the taxes they want, but then it's got to go before the people and let the people have the final say. Because it's the people's money they're stealing.
Hmm. But they treat it like our fucking paychecks are like their open wallet. Fuck that.
Exactly. Uh, that was something. Was it Trump doing it, or was it? Oh crap! Now I can't remember who it was. Forever. I want. Oh God, no! It was one of the members is in the House. One of the speakers of the House years ago.
What?
For every uh, for every new regulation that they brought up, they had to cancel two of the old ones.
That's a weird way of going about it.
Well, I mean, that way, you kept the regulations on businesses and such to a minimum. But, stop regulating businesses to the
I
point that they
mean,
can't operate.
then you go into larger business like the multi-million corporations like Walmart and fucking Nike and shit, and they need more regulation. I'm sorry, they don't need less. But then again, what do I know?
Okay, I can see, I see both sides of this coin to where, yes, you get the multinational or the huge organizations like Walmart that operate as they do, like Disney, and
Mm.
and Disney sitting there in their own little tiny fiefdom in California and here in Florida, and for decades getting away with bloody murder because of they were Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And then they thought that they could step in and start telling the state, Florida, what they could and couldn't do from their headquarters in California.
Oh.
And it's like, okay, let's remind you that you're a company that we allow to have special privileges within our state and have had allowed special privileges.
Well, Disney's going down the tubes anyway.
Well, yeah, they're um,
Bye ho. Sorry.
uh, uh, uh,
I love our rodent overlords.
there's what? Oh, last I was reading an article last night, or was it this morning, about the new red haired barbarian. Um, Conan
Mm,
universe. Redheaded
Col-
female barbarian.
Conan O'Brien. Oh,
No,
female.
no,
Oh. Red Sonja.
Red Sonja, right. Well, they're coming out making a Red Sonja uh, movie.
Another one? The first one was good enough.
Right. Well, they announced the actress playing Red Sonja
Oh no.
made an announcement that this movie is not for the male gaze, but for female empowerment.
Oh my god. It's either Zendaya or that Teresa, what's her name? That fat model.
And let's see here. Red Sonja movie.
Actually, a gay Red Sonja with the same body as Brigitte Nielsen will definitely be for the male gaze, Tyre. Women won't even be able to get in. They'll have camped out and bought all the tickets.
Let's see here.
No, Red Sonja, Willie.
Yeah. Let's see. Matilda Lutz.
Shit, I gotta Google this shit now.
Okay.
God damn it. She's gonna be hideous, isn't she? She's gonna be a hand beast.
Okay. Here
Oh,
is
oh god. Okay, not a ham planet,
no.
but
Uh,
kind of skinny and not whatever. Fuck it, I give up.
there she is. All right. Just
God.
on just on the first looks here. Okay, she's at least 2 cup sizes too small for Red
Well, I
Sonja.
mean, there's costuming for that, but you know they're not gonna do it.
Right. She doesn't have red hair,
A
and
wig.
I'm
You know they'll dye it or
sorry,
put a wig on her, you know.
and I'm sorry, but she does not have the shoulders, the traps, the biceps.
Yeah, that's
She
actually what was bothering me. Thank you.
she does not have the physique in that photograph there. Well, that's from 2018, so that's 6 years
She might have been
ago.
working out. I
Yeah,
mean, you know,
yeah.
I'm
She
totally okay with her being flat chested. I know it sounds really weird, but I'm okay with that if she can just get the frame and the musculature, at least half of it, you know. Tone up a little, you know. No, I don't think so.
okay. Am I?
Right, Retro? That's what I thought. I thought it was gonna be that heavy set black girl from what was that movie? Pitch Perfect.
I'm
Silvar,
trying
don't
to.
jinx it.
I do not see any. I mean, every picture I see of her on the image pages, she is. I mean, she's an Italian model. She's
Mhm.
skinny as. She's
Italian,
a
Latin.
size 0 model. I don't see any pictures of her. All right, let me
Oh,
do.
Willie, I wasn't even gonna go that far. Willie said, I just pictured Lizzo in my head and almost threw up. Thank you, Retro. God damn it, Tyre. This is not the day for this shit. I was in a good mood. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let me share this page. All right, here we go. Yeah, I do not see anything here that would indicate
Morning, sweetheart.
a decent. That's from 2022. Yeah, there's nothing here showing that she would make a decent Red Sonja. So at least not physically. Who was that? Remember? I don't know. The woman that was in Stallone movies, very tall
Brigitte
woman.
Nielsen.
Yeah. Now
Yeah, that was Red Sonja. Yeah.
I could see her as Red Sonja in a heartbeat.
Well, she was.
Oh, was she? Okay. Was she
Wasn't she?
the 1995 Red Sonja? Or
I didn't see that one. Wait, who was? I'm pretty sure Brigitte. Wait. I'm pretty sure it was her that did the first
yeah,
one.
Retro, you're right. Red anorexia.
Yeah, that was her, the 85 one.
The 85 one, okay.
Because she was with Arnold. Wasn't she married either Arnold or Stallone? One of them.
Well, I know she was in that one cop movie where Stallone rode the motorcycle.
I don't.
But
I don't know.
I mean, those were the days of some good movies.
Yeah, it was Stallone. Okay, that'll explain it. I mean, she wasn't a great actress, but hey.
Yeah, Cobra. That was the name of the movie. Retro and Tyre put them up at the same time.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's a dude movie. I wouldn't know that shit. That's guy stuff. I was a girl. I was watching Princess Bride, and they're out watching fucking Cobra and shit. I don't know.
Well, hell yeah! I mean, they were good movies. I mean, they were action. They were action movies just for the action. You come walking out. You came walking out of that movie, right? Feeling 10 foot tall and bulletproof.
Okay, thank you. I said thank you.
Yeah, that's the way you got it. Joshua, you're probably right about that. Wait a minute, the original Roadhouse with Chuck Norris? Huh?
He meets Patrick Swayze. He's having a senior moment at 29. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen the remake of. I'm kind of interested in seeing the remake of Roadhouse, but I was definitely waiting until I can get it for $2.50 and watch it as a rental. Moon Base Security. Oh, that's Duck Dog. Okay. Oh yeah, Retro. I'm sitting there and I'm watching. I'm watching that remake of Fall Guy, and it's like, no.
Oh, come on. Why would you do that to yourself?
That is no Lee Majors Fall Guy.
No.
That was.
There will never be another Lee Majors.
That.
And I loved him.
If they would ever try to remake. Airwolf. If they ever tried to remake Airwolf, that would be like, good luck on that.
Right? Nah, man.
Because first, technology has advanced too far to remake a show like that. It's not the actor so much as he's not, but the woman is the bigger star of the show than he is.
Yeah, I mean, Heather Locklear was like backup. You know, she was his girl Friday, the secretary. You know, she wasn't
Right.
like
You
she
know.
was the Charlie to his Angel. So, no, you never saw Charlie, motherfucker. Okay, I'm just saying.
Right.
And
But yeah, but yeah. So the show's more about her than it is about him, and that's just sort of ruined Fall Guy for me. Yeah, it's butchered Wiley. Wiley Coyote. It's been butchered. Uh, Blue Thunder. I liked Blue Thunder was another good movie though. Uh, Jaffo.
I'm just gonna say I loved Lee Majors in Ash versus the Evil Dead. He was great. I loved him. I'll watch
I
him.
never watched the Evil
Dude,
Dead movies.
no, okay. They did a series. I think it was on Stars or whatever channel it was. It's you can get on the internet now. It's great. I think it's still on Amazon or something. But it was so good, and they didn't let it run. They didn't jump the shark with it. They gave it just enough episodes to it ended on a high note. It was really great. I loved it.
Okay. No,
Also, we
I
what?
liked Lee Majors when he was in the when he sort of brought back up his $6 million man in the Santa Claus movie.
I didn't see the one with Kurt Russell. I gotta see that. Oh, are you talking about the Santa Claus movie from like the '80s with
Oh,
what's
wait a
his
minute.
name?
No. It was no, it was not he wasn't in the Santa Claus movie. It was the Bill Murray's
Scrooged.
Scrooged,
Okay.
right? Where uh Lee Major goes up and saves Santa Claus from
Okay.
attacks. It
Okay.
was it was like a commercial for a movie.
Yeah. I love that shit. You know what? No,
Yeah.
you just reminded me of something.
What's that?
Ross and I saw a movie the other night, and I'm only gonna mildly recommend it. Don't buy it,
Okay.
and if you can get it for free and not rent it, do that. But what is it? What's it called? It's called For Sale. It's about a real estate guy that he gets a really bad deal. And yeah, there's supernatural shit in it. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. It's an indie movie and there's no known people in it. So I like indie movies though. I gotta support those if they're really good. There's it's not woke, so yay. Willie, I
Ah.
hope they don't because it ended on a really good note and it was a little sad at the same time, but it was good. And so far I did not know Burn Notice. I didn't know Bruce Campbell was in Burn Notice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was.
See, now I gotta go watch that shit.
I watched the first season of Burn Notice because I thought it was good.
I heard it was good. It's hard for me to get into this shit. Yeah.
So, hey, who do you think one of the last people to get voted as a delegate to the GOP convention?
You're asking the wrong person, Dave. This is why I don't join these streams.
Oh no, I'm gonna give you a laugh here.
You know what?
Huh?
I can see it. He's following in his dad's footsteps.
Look
Family
how
business.
tall this kid is.
I know. He's he was just a little guy a couple years ago, and now he's all grown and shit. And I feel so. It just damn. When did that happen? He was a little kid. A little kid getting attacked on Twitter by a bunch of celebrity assholes.
Well, we can see him. Well, now that he's 18 years old, He is fair game for the left to attack.
It's always been. They've always declared it fair, even though nobody else did.
So, uh, and I mean, they'd already started attacking him a couple years ago,
Yeah,
but
very little. Still in elementary school, they're going after his ass.
yeah,
Whatever age it was. That pissed me off so bad. Because you don't do it to fucking Obama's kids, even though they're totally using their dad's fucking, pull to do stuff.
oh crap, he's 6'10".
Jeez! If he were like a good years older, I could climb him like a tree.
I figured him for 6'6".
No, man, I didn't even know. I would have said 6'2" top because his dad was
Trump is 6 foot.
Really?
I thought Trump was 6'2".
Yeah.
But
that makes okay. So if he's like 6'2", then that would because he's so much taller than his dad. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, let's see here. That's stupid. But yeah, Donald Barron is 6'10". Good God, have mercy.
He doesn't need to be that tall. Give me a few of those inches. He ain't using all that height. Sabar, he's taller than damn near everybody. That's bullshit.
Being a test tube baby.
Was he for real? I don't know.
No, Wiley's saying he was.
I know. That's what I'm looking at. Willie. Oh my God.
Damn, you're 6'6", Silvar? Man.
Yeah, you're quite a fucking bit taller than me.
Yeah. See, I've been 6'3" since I was 16, 17 years old.
Willie, you're way taller than me. Okay, don't even joke. I'm so I can't do this, man. Right? That's what I say in my head. I don't say it because that hurts your feelings.
I mean, I've always been taller than my classmates, than people, my own age group.
I was always taller than mine up until 7th grade because they were all Mexicans and shit, Chinese. So yeah. Willie. Oh God damn.
You are 6 foot at 13. Wow. Okay.
Okay, you know what? Don't feel short. At 5'7", my ex towered over me. Okay, so don't worry about it. There's always going to be a girl shorter than you if it bothers you that much. Just think of it like that. And yeah.
Well, my wife is 5'3", so
she's still taller than me.
Wow. She's exactly. I thought you were 5'3".
Okay, I can be 5'3" if you want. Let me get some heels out. Oh fuck, I hate high heels. Fuck that. Just pretend. Damn it. Wife's 5'3". I'm so jealous. I'm sorry.
Anyway, this whole thing. Anyway, that is about actually the last of the. Oh, speaking of TV shows, one of the TV shows I really liked.
Let's hear it.
And watched constantly was NCIS.
I never watched those, but they looked good.
And when Ziva left, when Cote de Pablo, when she left the show, it was like, no, I mean, the show lost something. Then Michael Weatherby left. And I was like, okay, now, and I didn't like the new show he went to. Well,
Okay.
Michael Weatherly and Cote de Pablo are bringing back their own show with
Oh.
Tony and Ziva. It's going to be called NCIS Tony and Ziva.
Nuh-uh. Seriously?
Seriously.
Okay.
And Mark Harmon is coming back to the primary show. He got kicked off for a couple of seasons because of being a Class A jerk. And I think some adult beverages, overindulgence, was the reason. That and when oh, now I can't remember her name. Mm,
Just
dang
describe
it,
her.
huh?
Describe her.
What she was the goth scientist,
I know I've seen her in ads, even though I don't watch the show. She had ponytails.
right?
I know who you're talking about. I just don't know her name.
Yeah. Well, when she left the show, and they made she refused to do a scene with Mark Harmon.
Abby.
Abby, thank you. When Abby left, she refused to do a scene with Mark Harmon because Mark Harmon pinched her butt one time too many, I
Ew.
guess.
Why would you do that to your coworker?
Yeah. Why did my vitamin ads feature a butt? I have no idea why they feature that on there. But anyway,
Wow.
that was one of the reasons why Mark Harmon had to leave the show because he was getting a little too friendly with some of the female co-hosts, co-stars. That and he was being a bit of a jerk.
I don't know if she was a
Paulie
goth.
Perrette, yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
I don't know if I'd call her a hottie, but it was a good look for her.
Yeah, his dog also. You're right about that duck
Why
dog.
do
His
people
dog
bring their
bit the dog he had bit at her and at a PA. Yep.
Why do people bring their fucking dogs to work? You know, I didn't used to be scared of dogs till I got bit a couple times, and I I raised dogs, I trained them, I loved them my whole life, but the second time I got bit, I was like, fuck all of this.
I've been bitten by dogs twice in my life. Serious bites, not nips. Once was a Pomeranian, once was a Dachshund. The
They were
Pomeranian bit me many times. I had to end up wearing cowboy boots whenever I went
I
to
will
their
say
house.
I will say Pomeranians, even they are cute, but they're cuter when they're mixed with something else. But the two times I was bit, they were owned by the same. They were owned by the druggy people I got sent with, and they were giant fucking chow dogs, and those things were huge. And they locked onto you. They will lock onto you and not let go.
Well, that Pomeranian bit would bite at the Achilles tendon.
Oh, fuck
Yes,
that.
and
That dog learned to fly that day.
that's why I started wearing heavy duty cowboy boots. Not my dress boots, but a pair of work cowboy
Working boots.
boots.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And he couldn't get his mouth around the back of the boot to bite me anymore.
Good. You know what? Duck dog, you are right. And they are ugly as hell. I can't stand those fucking chow dogs.
I don't like chows. I think they're ugly.
They are vicious and ugly. And no.
Neighbors had chows, and when my son was, I mean, a newborn, and they would jump the fence.
Yeah.
It had like a 4.5 foot or 4 foot fence between our yard and theirs, and it would jump their fence chain link fence to get into our backyard.
Mhm.
So I went over one day to talk to the neighbors. I said, listen, you need to do something about your chows because my son's getting old enough that we're going to start letting him play in the backyard. And I'm going to be honest, if my son is in the backyard playing and your chows jump the fence and come at him, I'm going to shoot your dog. I'm not going to wait or anything. I'm not going to try to shoo him away. I'm just going to shoot him. And they went and they put barbed wire fence up on their side.
Good
And,
plan.
put it at an angle so that the dogs couldn't jump over the fence anymore. It's like, I've just, it's that, and it's like I told one of the neighbors I've got here, back after the hurricane, and nobody had fences in their yards because the hurricane took them all down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she refused to put her dog on a leash.
The fucking law. Kidding?
And I told her if her dog come up close to me again, because I'm talking a dog waist high to me.
Oh yeah.
Big dog. And I said, keep your dog down in your yard, keep it on a leash, put it on a chain, something. And because if
are
your
good. I
your
like
dog
harnesses.
comes running up on me again, I'm going to shoot it. Good.
That's a good plan.
The wife and I, after that hurricane hit, and the wife and I, we did not leave anywhere we didn't walk out of our yard, out of the house without a gun on.
You know what? I would have been right there with you. I don't even blame you. I love animals, but nah.
Well, there was not only the 4-legged animals, but the 2-legged animals.
I hear you. That seems like the prime time for fucking robberies is after a hurricane, man.
Yeah, there it is.
Law enforcement, 911, they're all overstretched after that.
And people aren't in their houses because the houses are damaged.
Yeah.
And
not only that, oh my God, the stores get broken into. When I was in Miami, we had a big one. And we lost power for like 3 months. I was just going around Miami, minding my own business, and one of the big thrift stores got broken into. And they only had garbage in there that nobody really wants. But they broke all the front windows in and just everything fucking gone. It was crazy. Yeah. And we had a curfew.
I even went and became an Indian giver and had my son give me back the lever action rifle that I gave him for his birthday.
Hey.
So I could have a rifle in the house.
I don't blame
you. If I'm going to pull a rifle, nobody wants to be looking down the wrong end of a 30-30.
Yeah.
I'd really like to buy another one just to have one in the house.
Hey, your kids are grown. It's just you and your wife. Go ahead, man.
No.
Me, it's those little rat dogs, though. I hate those fucking dogs because they got that small people energy. They will just kick your ass,
Yeah.
And no, you know what? The people in my building, it's all like, well, it's not anymore, but it used to be all elderly people, and mostly of a certain, they were Hispanic mostly, and they all had those fucking pocket purse puppies, and they would let those dogs on the ground, not walk them on a leash. They would let the dog run around. They'd pee in the building, like they would go upstairs to my floor and pee on the wall or whatever, or the carpet, and run back downstairs. And I would complain, and nobody would do anything. And they started chasing my daughter, and they thought that shit was funny. My daughter was like 8 at the time, and she was really tiny, and she's running around screaming, waving her arms, and I can't catch her. She's running through the parking lot. Somebody will run her over, because they speed through the fucking parking lot. And I kept complaining to the office, and they were like, well, we can't do anything. And then I called the sheriff's office, and I asked, what can I do? They're going to bite her, and she's been able to climb on people's cars to get away. What can I do to keep her, keep her safe? And they're like, well, can I shoot them? And they're like, no, you can't go around shooting people's dogs. But they told me I could use pepper spray. So I went and bought a bunch of them and kept them on my keychain and on my wrist, those little coily kind of loop things, the plastic ones. And I had pepper spray everywhere. And then I called the office and I said, hey, good news. I don't need your help anymore. Since you refuse to help, I called the sheriff's office and they told me I could spray those little fuckers. Do you know the next day, that same day actually, they put up signs all over the place saying to keep your dog on a leash because of what do you call it? Reactions to the spray guys that come and they do the lawn stuff. Yeah,
The mosquito sprays.
not even mosquito. It's just for pets because
Oh,
they help so
the
much.
pesticides.
Yeah, thank you. I knew it wasn't about that. They knew it wasn't about that, but people start putting their fucking leashes on their dogs.
Oh, man, I wish people. It's like I've got a body harness for my dog, and
See, those are good. I like those better than chains.
And I made a 30-foot leash to go on that body harness.
Is it one of the ones that expands like a tape measure or?
No. I took a bunch of paracord, 550 paracord.
Ooh, that's good.
And I took about 120 feet, 150 foot of paracord.
Okay.
And weaved it into a leash for him, into about 30-foot leash.
That ain't gonna break. That's good.
No, that paracord. No, it's not going to. No, it's not going to break. It's 550 paracord. This little 25-pound mutt ain't going to do nothing to it. This little Jack Russell, he's not going to do nothing to it.
It's just so cute.
This 15-year-old Jack Russell ain't got a prayer of doing anything to it. He's getting to. I could probably get away just using one strand of that paracord anymore.
Yeah,
I don't need to, quadruple it down, but
you know what? I still think about it sometimes though, because the one thing I really hate about all of it is both my kids, but my daughter mostly had gone through. She had therapy in the school. She had therapy at a clinic, and it was for what do you call it? Occupational therapy.
Right.
Because autistic kids, they don't like certain sensations like putting their hands in sand or like anything grainy or water or whatever. And they'll run a brush up and down their arm, things like that, or put toys in sand and make them dig for them, things like that. They started bringing their dogs. And she had gotten where she was really calm around dogs after like a year or two of that. And it was great fun for her. Yeah. 2 years of work got ruined in like 2 fucking incidents. Those dogs. I was so mad. I was crying over that shit. I was so mad.
Yeah, Wiley, that's a shame that your buddy cracked his cylinder head. Yeah, he abused that engine to crack that cylinder head like that.
I don't know anything about cars, but that is a damn shame.
So, and yeah, paracord is and this is real paracord. It's not the crap you can buy
like the Walmart
off of Amazon or Walmart.
Yeah.
I'm on my last. I think I've got like 500 feet of this stuff left. It's only, let's see here. I got it back in 1997, 1998.
Joshua, you're not.
I got like 5,000 feet of it.
Oh my God! What the hell were you? You know what? I don't want to know.
And
I don't want to know.
I'm down to my last about 500 feet. So, yeah.
Really? You have 3,000 feet? What the hell have you? You know what? I don't want to know that either. I bet you got a lot of plastic sheeting and some, and a buzz saw, and I don't want to know nothing. I'm good.
Well, I mean, that's, military issue there.
I never
This
heard.
was military issue stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's, uh,
A 3,000-foot spool is something the military issues you at your house. I'm just reading the chat.
well, I don't know how Wiley got his.
Oh, okay. Okay. 'Cause I was specifically talking about. I don't want to know, Wiley.
I've got no idea how Wiley acquired
Wiley,
it.
now you got me calling Wiley. God damn. I was so proud I had it messed it up.
Wiley Coyote.
Super genius. Did you buy your spool from Acme?
I tell paracord, man, even the you can get some decent stuff off of Amazon and such. Just make sure it's not Chinese made. But yeah, I mean, paracord's nice to have around. My my one thermos, I made a handle for it using 2 zip ties and paracord.
Oh my god. Okay.
So, falling off of the back of a truck, yeah, that's the
Uh-huh. I
yeah.
got so many
I,
DVDs that fell off the back of a truck.
there's I have a roll magnetic tape that fell off of the back of a truck back in the 1990s.
Silvar, there is no rappelling in my future. No climbing.
Yeah, you're right. The stuff off of Amazon, the even the American made stuff, if you compare it to the real paracord, you're right. It is garbage. But if you do the right weave, if you do a good box weave to it,
Yeah.
And or a square weave or a serpentine, and you're using 4 or 5 strands, you can make it strong enough to do most anything. So
no, won't entertain his silly ass.
Okay, you're going to ignore Silvar, huh? Yeah, I still know most of my knots from when I was in scouting, but
that's good school. Good school stuff.
Anyway, well, it's 11:30 my time. Well, 11:25, 11:26, and I've got errands and such. And if I'm going to make popcorn tomorrow for ramen, make some bacon popcorn.
I will live vicariously through your popcorn stream.
I will. Ramen will have to watch the screen while I'm in the kitchen making popcorn.
Oh hell yeah! I wanna see.
I will pop up some buttered some.
You don't need butter if it's bacon. There we go.
Bacon popcorn during the stream tomorrow.
Okay, now here's the thing: are you gonna use brown sugar bacon? Or are you gonna add the brown sugar after, or are you just gonna skip that part?
I can. I've got
That's up to you.
I've got some dark brown sugar.
See, I wouldn't add the sugar, but
what I may do is add some brown sugar after to some of it,
Yeah.
but or I can make just two small batches, one with brown sugar mixed in with the bacon fat,
That.
and then try it both ways.
That. You could
So,
make it for the wife. See what she likes.
and well, the
Sam,
wife will be at work.
tonight? Okay.
Oh, tonight? Oh, I
Yeah.
wasn't going to make her popcorn. I don't even know what I'm going to make for supper tonight. I don't have any protein out thawing.
Oh, I gotta get the pork out. I got
We
a
had
tiny pork loin. I'm gonna get that.
um I we had a shop meeting yesterday at work, and the bosses said told us to order subs off of Publix.
Oh man.
So
What'd you
I
get?
surprised them and ordered the falafel sub.
Okay.
And I show up there and they hand out subs. And they said, "Are you sure you wanted a falafel?" I said, "Yeah, it's the only place in town that's got a falafel." And it is. It's the only place up here that offers anything falafel. And I'm just too lazy to make it myself. I don't want to feel like grinding all the chickpeas and everything you need the chickpeas and pistachios to make it.
Yeah, I could. I don't have to. What I really want to make is koftas this winter. That's a winter food. It's
And
yeah.
so we had the wife ate leftover ravioli, and I had the other. I only ate, they got us foot long subs. So I had ate a 6 inches of it for lunch and ate the other 6 inches of it for supper, while the wife had some leftover baked ravioli I made the other day.
Oh man.
So, but
I'm kind of yeah.
have you seen the pickle ranch dressing?
I stay the fuck away from ranch. I haven't seen the pickle ranch dressing, but it sounds fucking revolting just from the words together.
On a it's made with pickle juice,
Of course.
and it's actually more of a dip, for celery and carrots and such. But I put that on my sandwich last night. 'Cause I ran out of tzatziki here at the house.
Okay. I know it's yogurt. Is that cucumber or mint?
Cucumber.
I love cucumber.
And I ran out of tzatziki, so I used the pickled ranch, and it was actually really good.
You are dead to me. So disappointed.
Oh man, I want shrimp so bad, but I can't
Me
have it.
too. Me either. It'll kill me.
I can't have it.
Late in life allergies?
No, the wife can't stand the smell or sight of them.
Oh, yeah. I would. Damn. I can't.
Now I bought some of those artificial, that artificial crab legs that they sell at Walmart.
I haven't seen them recently. I used to have the artificial crab for crab salad, like not already mixed.
Right.
I didn't like the fake crab. Has it gotten any better?
Well, what I do is I put them in the food processor, grind them up, and make crab salad out of them for sandwiches.
But does it
Yeah,
taste like real? I mean, is it texture? Is it any better? Or
it's not bad. I mean, it's close
is it?
enough for somebody who's not allowed to have the real thing, whose wife won't allow them to have the real thing except
Oh.
on
Is it?
special occasions.
Is it better than it used to be?
Yes.
Okay, because last time I had it was like 20 years ago, 30 years
Oh
ago.
God, yes. It's better
Okay.
than it was. It's better than it was 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. See, I haven't had it in a long time since I was a kid. So.
Yeah.
Because crab's
It,
fucking expensive.
it's better than what? I mean, we're only no. This is only like $2 for a pound.
Yeah, we all know crab is not $2 a pound, so I'm good with this. I
No,
gotta
I'm
look
talking
at this.
about the fake stuff.
Yeah, I'm saying we all know real crab is not $2 a pound. I'll
Right.
take it.
Yeah,
Okay.
this stuff. I mean, yeah, and like I said, I put in the food processor and make fake crab salad out of it, and it's cheaper than buying the fake crab salad at out of the deli.
I should get that tomorrow to go for lunch. That's what I should. Tomorrow's Friday. Fish day.
And uh, I want to try monkfish. I've never had it, but again, I'm only
Oh.
allowed fish at usually once a year. I'm only allowed to have fish for a meal.
Oh, really? Not even tuna? Oh, that's because your wife. Yeah, that's right.
Well,
See, I'm so
tuna,
fishy.
I don't count tuna fish as fish.
I don't know. It's pretty strong smelling if it's canned. So.
Well, yeah, but the wife will eat tuna salad or either tuna salad or tuna casserole on occasion.
Okay. I love tuna
But
salad and tuna casserole.
but I don't count tuna as
Real
fish.
fish, because you're not catching it. Tuna
Well,
steaks are good though. I haven't
so
had a tuna steak in a long time. Damn. When I first got married to that asshole, we lived in Miami, and he would go down to the pier and get tuna steaks every once in a while. That was good.
well, see, Duck Dog, down here we've got blue crab and stone crab, and they're expensive as hell to buy if you buy them whole. And then, like you said, you've got to really know what you're doing to clean them. Because the last thing you want to do is accidentally eat a gill.
Ew! I've never had that, but that sounds fucking gross.
It is.
Somebody
It's
put a fish in my
disgusting.
hand as a joke once, and I felt the gills and then the scales and everything. I was like, yeah! My godfather was an asshole. I loved him, but he was an asshole. Crab is cheap as hell here. I'm
Creepy sea spiders. You talking about squid there, Silmar?
squid or shrimp. Squid's got to be squid.
Squid is good.
I couldn't do it.
Oh, crab. Oh, crab gills are nasty.
I miss shrimp so fucking much. I'm about to go to the hospital just to have some shrimp fried rice. Okay, don't even get me started. It'd be totally worth it.
Not retro. When I cook when I make my squid, I batter. I clean it and everything, cut it up, and then I batter it and deep fry it, and I eat it like popcorn. My squid's not rubbery. It's
Yeah, you
nice
got
and
to be really good in that.
it's nice and crunchy like popcorn. In fact, that's it. Uh, that's how the first time I made it for my mom. Uh, she thought I was some form of cracklings, and she ate the first bowl of it, and
Oh,
I'm making up the second. I'm making up another bowl of it, and she comes out in the kitchen and she sees the squid tentacles before I've had a chance to fry them up.
yeah.
Oh, she got mad at me because I didn't tell her it was squid. She said she'd never trust anything I was cooking again without her coming out in the kitchen to watch what I had out.
Damn. Okay,
You
after the
know,
stream,
at
I'm
one
sorry.
time, lobster was considered trash food.
Yeah, yeah. So was cod,
Yep.
and now you see how expensive that shit is.
Marylander, you know crabs.
Yeah.
Well, I've never had crabs, so.
I'm not going there. Damn. What's wrong with you?
Okay.
I miss clams. I do that. I miss clams.
Oh, now see, I like mussels and I like clams, but I do not like oysters.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. I never had oysters, but yeah, I've been told that's. My mom would
Uh,
eat the clams raw though. Like she'd go to
No.
Little Italy and they'd put lemon on it and she'd eat it like that. And I was like, oh fuck no. But I liked they'd have these then they'd serve it on the shell. It was a baked clam and they'd chop it up and spice it up, mix something with it and bake it. And they'd serve it on the half shell, and that was so good.
Was that $12 a pound for that salmon? Dang. We had a Italian restaurant here that made I can't remember the exact name of it. It was an Italian. Basically, it was deviled octopus or devil of the sea, which was it was a very spicy octopus.
Okay, I got a question. Did they make it like a salad and use mayonnaise and hard boiled egg and stuff?
No, it was a pasta dish. It was
Oh, okay. See, gotta ask.
and it was absolutely delicious. I loved it, but it was very spicy. And oh my God, I mean, I just absolutely loved it. Not if they're cooked right, Silver. Not if they're cooked right. They're not overcooked or undercooked. They're not rubbery at all. But if you overcook them or undercook them, they will be.
Yeah.
So, okay, I do go. It's not now been another 15 minutes. So, all right, everyone, thanks for coming out. Appreciate you. Ramen, tomorrow's fun.
Hell
stream.
yeah!
All right. So,
I might try so
anything you
hard.
want to say before we get out of here, Ramen?
Okay. After lunch, I'm definitely streaming something. Don't know what. I reinstalled a lot of games, so who knows what it'll be.
All right.
It's
Well,
gonna be today.
if you're still streaming when I get back online, I'll
I'll play some of you. Just invite me. Shit.
I'll catch you then. Okay.
Okay, because I saw you playing 7 days, but I'm not gonna jump in someone's without it.
Oh man, I'll tell you what happened.
I'm a helper.
I'll tell you something about my 7 days. Yeah, when we get offline.
Oh, okay. Bye, y'all. See you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye. Have a good one. Of course, be with the ones you love and love the ones that you're